Okay, we're going to deal with the index of method in chapter 7. And so here we go. The first thing, we've already done the length method, and now we're going to do the index of method. So the first thing, and this first sentence has a lot to it, it returns the numeric position. The index of method returns the numeric position of the beginning character of the first instance of a substring within a string. All right, there's a lot to that, and so we're gonna go through what that means. Now, if you remember, the length returned the number of characters of a particular string and or group of characters. And now what we're going to do is we're going to find the numeric position of a substring within a string. And so what is a substring? Well, if let's say an example would be, let's say that numeric position was your string. I should have done this. Let's say we have, this is our string. Okay, so in this string you can have substrings. For instance, the whole string is numeric position, but a substring would be numeric because it's part of the entire string. Position would be another substring. Well, you also can have things like sit, S-I-T, is a substring of the entire string. M-E-R-I is a substring because it's part of any number of characters within that are together within this string would be considered a substring. Just the letter O is a substring. So that's what we're doing, is we're trying to find the numeric position of substrings within an entire string. It always returns an int, and just like length always returns an int. It returns a -1 if it's not if not a substring of the string. So if you program Java to try to find a substring that's not within a string, it will return a -1. So it's still an integer, but it'll be a -1. The numeric positions of a string. Well, this is where it gets kind of crazy. So let's say we have a string, Mimi Tim's, then the position numbers go like this. Now, so what are the two key issues that you notice? So the first thing you should notice is that it starts with 0. When you count, you start counting at 1. So the length method, you're always counting. It doesn't deal with positions. It deals with counting 1, 2, 3. You start at 1. But with finding, when you want to use the index of method, you're going to be returning the position of that substring within a string, and the first position is 0. It's not 1. The second thing you should notice is that character, that space is a character, and it occupies a position. Okay, what we need to do here. Okay, let's go back to this page just to make sure that we understand what we're talking about here. The numeric position of the beginning character of the first instance. So if you're trying to find it, let's say it says first instance. So let's say you're trying to find the I. Well, there's 3 I's here. So what it's going to look for is the first instance of I. Okay, the second thing is that it's the beginning character. So if you're looking for the string Tim, okay, it's looking for Tim, and it finds it here, the numeric position is the first, is the beginning character, which is be the capital T. So it would be 5. It's not 5, 6, 7. It's the first, it's the position of the first character, the beginning character of the substring. The other thing that would be important to notice is that to look for a capital letter is different than looking for a small letter. So if it's looking for an M, a small case M, it's going to find this M, not this M, because this is a capital. If you want it to find the capital, you have to ask it to look for the capital M, and it will find this. So those are the different things to consider. Now we go to the next slide. What would be good is if you pause the video and then try to find the try to answer this. Find the numeric position of each of these substrings and see how that goes. Okay, so hopefully you did these, and so let's take a look. The S is looking for the numeric position of S. There's only one S, so that position would be 8. So that should be 8. M, number 2. M, it's not looking for the capital M, it's looking for small m. There are 2 M's, but it's going to find the first. As you notice, it's the first instance. And so the first instance of that M is 2. So it should be 2. And notice, this is one thing that's a very good practice, is to write the numeric positions above your string. It's worth it, because in that way you don't have to keep counting. So you always start at 0. The I, it's looking for, there's 3 I's in here. It's going to find the first instance, which is 1. Now it's looking for a capital 1, number 4, a capital M, and so there's 3 M's, but only one is a capital, and that position is 0. The first position is 0. Okay, now it's looking for IMS. Well, here's an IMS, and then it says it's looking for the beginning character, and so here's the I is the beginning character, and so we're looking at 6 would be for number 5. Okay, the number 6, it's looking for the substring MI. There is 1 MI in here, and it's looking for the beginning character of MI. So the beginning character is this M, so it's 2. It's the numeric position. It's not positions. It's one position, only one number. It's the first character, the position of the first or beginning character of the substring. Okay, now we're looking for IMI. There is 1 IMI. The first character or the beginning character is this one, and so this brings a 1. Now we're looking for Tim. Alright, you might say, oh, okay, well, here it is. Here's Tim. Nope. The problem is the first, all 3 letters that it's looking for are all lowercase, but one of them happens to be a capital T in the actual string. So it does not find Tim with all lowercase letters. So it's going to return a -1. And then A, looking for an A. Okay, there are no A's in here. So it is going to return a -1 because it is not found in the string. And then MIT is right. Well, you might go, okay, MIT, but this is really MI space capital T. So it's got 2 things against it. There is no MIT in here, so it returns a -1. Alright, so how do we write this? Okay, it's the same idea as with the length method. You put the name of the variable, and then you do the dot, and then you do the index of. So it's variable.indexOf, or variable.method. So ant1 is the name of the variable. It's containing the string Sally Sue. And so what this means, and then also inside the parentheses, you need to have within quotes the substring that you want to look for. Remember, a string is a literal string, has quotes around it, and so substrings the same idea. So what this means is it is looking for all, the substring all, in the variable at 1. And so it's going to find, and then it's going to return its numeric position. In this case, it would return a 1 because here's all, and it's looking for the beginning character of the substring, and it goes 0, 1. So it would return a 1. So it returns the numeric position of the beginning character of the first instance of a substring. So the beginning character and first instance are really critical issues. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Now here, this would be good if you can pause the video and then do all of these. Find what are these going to return, and then I'll give you the answers when you're done. Okay, so here are your answers for this. Okay, so it's looking for the variable, the substring s within the variable cat. And so in cat you have princess, there's two s's. The first s is the first instance, and that is 6. The next thing is index of n within the variable cat, and so the first instance of n is right here, so it's a 3. And notice, of course, that we started the numbering at 0. And then we're looking in the variable cat again for the letter p, for p. Now, this is a small or lowercase p, and so it does not find it because this is a capital P, so it returns a -1. Then it's looking now in the variable dog for the substring over. So it's really looking for the O because that's the first letter. So here's the substring, and then you go to the beginning character, which is the O, and define that its position is 1. Okay, then now it's looking in the variable brother for HANJ. Alright, so here's HAN and a J, but the problem is that there's a space in between and J is capital, so again that's two things against it, and so it really doesn't find it, so therefore it's a -1. Brother.indexOf A, so it's looking for A in brother, and so there are two A's. It's looking for the first instance, and that is 3. Now it's looking for nat, N-A-T, and so in brother, and so here it is. Here's your substring, and it's looking for the beginning character, so it's looking for the N, so that's 2. And that is going to do it for index of.